Standard 8 Maths, Chapter 13 Direct and Inverse Proportion. Hello everyone. So far we have discussed what is direct proportion and the questions and examples based upon the same. And now in this video we will start up with what is inverse proportion or what is inverse variation. So as name indicates inverse proportion. That means like in case of direct proportion, you have studied if the cost, if the value of one variable was increasing and the value of second variable was also increasing. Now what happens in case of inverse proportion? It means if the value of one parameter is increasing, then the second parameter which is being dependent on first parameter will decrease. One will increase and one will decrease. So this is inverse variation. So we will understand with the help of an example. So suppose we have to cover a distance of say 400 kilometers. Okay, we have to cover a distance of 400 kilometers. This distance has been fixed. This distance is fixed, or we can say this distance is constant. Distance is constant. Now we are assuming two things, speed and time. If we are increasing the speed, then time will reduce. Now see how. So we have distance 4 kilometers. Distance that is 400 kilometer, which is fixed. Now we have speed in kilometer per hour. Okay, and we have time in hours. In hours we are taking the time. So we have these two things. Now see how this inverse proportion will work or how we have to use the things. So suppose in first case our speed is 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, speed is 80 kilometer per hour. So what will be the time taken? So distance is 400 kilometers, speed is 80 kilometers. Our time will be distance upon speed, that is 400 upon 80 kilometers. So it comes out to be 5 hours. Okay. So to cover 400 kilometers with a speed of 80 kilometers per hour, we require 5 hours. Now see if we decrease our speed, say I'm reducing speed to 40 kilometer per hour. Now the speed of the train or whatever the vehicle is 40 kilometers per hour. So what will be the time taken? Time is distance upon speed, that is 400 upon 40, that is 10. So it is 10 hours. So in order to convert this 400 kilometers with the speed of 40 kilometers per hour, we require 10 hours. Further, if we reduce our speed by 20 kilometers, now the speed is 20 kilometers per hour, time required will be 400 upon 20, that is we require 20 hours. 20 hours, right? So what are you observing? As the speed is decreasing, time is increasing. Okay, in first case speed was 80 kilometers, time required 5 hours. Second case speed is 40 kilometers, time required 10 hours. Third case speed is 20 kilometers, time required 20 hours. So in this case it is inversely proportion. Okay, so these things are inversely proportions. When the value of first thing is increasing, the value of second thing will decreasing. This is inverse proportion. Now it means how we can symbolize it. Suppose there is one parameter in this, we can take it as x and take it as y. So suppose there is first thing we have x, or first value we have x and second we have y. So when first is increasing, second will decrease. That means first value of first is inversely proportional to the second value. And how we are going to represent inversely proportion? In case of direct, we have put x is directly proportional to y, and in inverse case we will represent it as 1 upon y. It means 1 upon y means x is inversely proportional to y. So in order to remove this in proportionality sign, we can put it as k into 1 upon y. Now if we multiply this y to this what it becomes, xy equals to constant. So this is the basic of inverse proportion. Like in case of direct proportion, their ratio were constant. Okay, their ratio are constant. What happens in inverse case, their product are constant. What it means, so this thing is clear to you. Now this xy is equals to constant or a fixed value. Now what it means, xy in case this is x1, so what it was, xy is constant, or we can take a value k, so it becomes xy y1 equals to x2 y2. Okay, so this x1 y1 equals to x2 y2. This is our inverse proportion. Now we can check in this example what we have discussed. This is x1, x2, x3. This is y1, y2, y3. Now what we have to check, x1 y1 equals to x2 y2 equals to x3 y3. Now what is x1 y1? It is 80 into 5, that is 400. What is x2 y2? This is 40 into 10, that is 400. And what is x3 y3? This is 20 into 20, that is 400. Okay, so this is a basic thing you have to keep in mind. In case of direct proportion or direct variation, x upon y was constant. Okay, or x1 y1 upon x upon y1 equals to x2 upon y2. In case of inverse variation, this products, their product are constant, or we can say x1 y1 equals to x2 y2. So this is the basic thing you have to keep in mind. Now we will discuss the examples. So here we have example number 7 on page number 212, that is 212. Example 7, page 212. Example 7. So what it says, 6 pipes are required to fill a tank in 1 hour 20 minutes. How long it will take to take if only 5 pipes of the same types are used? Now what we have, number of pipes and time required for filling. Time required in minutes. We can convert those minutes and hours into minutes. So very simple. It is almost like direct variation, but we have to change the things, that in case of direct it was ratio and in this products are constant. Now first case, we have 6 pipes and the time was 1 hour 20 minutes. 1 hour 20 minutes equals to 1 hour is 60 plus 20, that is 80 minutes. Time required is 80 minutes. Now we have to calculate how long it will take if only 5 pipes are working. If only 5 pipes are working. So this is inverse variation. So what we have, this is again we can take as y. This is x, this is y. Corresponding value x1, x2. This is y1, y2. Clear? So what we have, x1 y1 equals x2 y2. That means 6 into 80 equals 5 into y2. This y2 have to calculate. So y2 will be equal to 6 into 80 upon 5. This is 16 and 6 into 16 is 96 minutes. If the number of pipes are 5, it will take 96 minutes to fill the tank. Clear? Next example. Example 8. What it says, there are 100 students in a hostel. Food provision from them is for 20 days. Means there are 100 students and food for them will last for 20 days. How long will this provision if 25 more students will join the groups? It is very common. If a number of students are increasing, then food will last for lesser number of days. So what we have in this question, number of students and food duration of food in days. Clear? So in first case it is number of student is 100 and how much it is going to last. It was for 20 days. Now 25 more students are joining. That means 100 was earlier and 25 new students have joined. So number of students will become 125. So we have to calculate number of days which for which food will last. So again this is our x, this is our y, this is x1, this is x2, this is y1, this is y2. What we have? We simply have x1 y1 equals to x2 y2. That means 100 into 20 equals 125 into y2. So y2 will become 100 into 20 upon 125. This is 25 fours are and 25 fives are 125 and 4 into 4 is 16. So if 25 students join the camp, food will last for 16 days. So you have, it is clear, number of students are increasing and number of days is decreasing. So I hope this is clear to you. Now next example. Next example is example number 9. What it says? Example 9. What it says, if 15 workers can build a wall in 48 hours, how many workers will require to do the same work in 30 hours? So number of workers and number of hours. If number of hours are decreasing, obviously there will be more number of workers will be required to complete the task. So we'll see. That is number of workers and hours. Clear? So number of workers is first case is 15 and they can build a wall in 48 hours. Clear? So now we have to calculate the number of workers so that the wall can be built in 30 hours. So number of this. So again this is x, this is y, this is x1, this is x2, this is y1, this is y2. Clear? So we have x1 y1 equals to x2 y2. That means 15 into 48 equals x2. We have to calculate, this is y2 is 30. So x2 is 15 into 48 upon 30. That is 15 ones are 2s are and 24. So the number of worker required to complete the given task in 30 hours will be 24. That means number of workers should be increased in order to complete the task in given time. Clear? So now we will start with exercise 13.2. First question we will see what it says. This is almost a oral question. So here it is exercise 13.2. Clear? So we have to check which of the following are in inverse proportion. So the first is number of workers on a job and time to complete the job. Now what it is? If we increase, suppose there is a task, if I increasing the number of workers are increasing, so definitely the time required to complete the task will decrease. So this is a case of inverse proportion. Clear? Now second part of the same is time taken for a journey and distance traveled in a uniform speed. Now speed is constant. Okay, speed is constant. Distance, if the distance is more, time required will more, and distance is less, time required will be less. So it is a case of direct proportion. Okay, area of cultivated land and crop harvested. So so what we have to consider is, if there is more area, the crop produce will be more. If there is a less area, crop produce will be less. So this is a case of direct variation or direct proportion. Time taken for a fixed journey and the speed of the vehicle. Now in this case speed is distance is constant. So we have, if we are increasing the speed, time will decrease. Okay, speed is increasing, time will decrease. Speed is decreasing, time will increase, or vice versa. So it is a case of inverse variation. Now next is population of a country and area of land per person. So if the land population of a country will increase, so there will be lesser area which is available for one person. So it is again a case of inverse proportion. So rest of the question we will discuss in our next video. Thank you.